Yep. Y'all already know who it is, man. It's King Ade with the Wizards Review. And I'm extremely upset tonight, man. I really love this team, yo. But tonight was one of those games that make you so frustrated. Right now, I'm so frustrated with these dudes, man. This is a game that we should have won tonight. And we lost this game towards the end of the game, just doing a lot of dumb stuff, man. I'm just so heated. This team, man, it cannot win a game that they have in their hands. They lose bad games. This is a game you can't lose, man. You can't lose this game. You played so well throughout the game, and then you lose the game at the end of the game. Just doing a lot of dumb stuff, man. I was disgusted tonight, man. I'm very upset, man. I'm going to try to make this short because I'm not trying to stay up on here tonight too long talking about this team losing a game that they should have won. You know what I mean? You can't lose to the same team back to back. You lose to them the first time, you come back and you beat them. You can't lose to the same team back to back. I don't care if you're on the road. This was a terrible loss, man. This is a terrible loss, man. Real talk, man. I'm really upset about this loss, man, because this team, if they really want to do some things, they want to make noise, they can't lose games like this. Anyway, man, let's start with the things that I like tonight, man. I felt throughout the game we moved the ball well, especially early in the game, man. I felt that we were moving the ball much better than we did last game against the Heat. And I thought we did a better job of attacking the zone defense. They run the 2-3 zone heavy tonight, and we struggled with it last game for sure. And we even struggled with it at times tonight, but I felt that we did a much better job of attacking the 2-3. You know what I mean? Driving to the paint, making the Heat collapse, and we pass the ball out and get wide open shots. You know what I mean? And just making it a priority to attack the 2-3 zone the right way. And I felt that we did that a lot throughout this game. You know what I mean? I thought that we played strong defense, especially early in the game, especially in the first half. I felt our defense was very effective, very good. We was running the 2-3 zone as well, and it was effective at times tonight. You know what I'm saying? I thought overall, our defense was good on majority of the Heat players tonight. You know what I'm saying? But again, it wasn't good enough because we lost the game, a game that we should have won. I felt Kuzma played well, especially in the first half. He played very well. He had a complete game tonight. You know what I'm saying? He was 5 for 5. His first 5 shots, he hit them all. He started the first half with 15 points. He stepped it up big time in the fourth quarter. He ended up scoring 28 points with 7 rebounds, 5 assists. I thought he did a lot tonight. Just had a good Kyle Kuzma game, doing a little bit of everything, pushing the pace, driving to the rim, attacking the rim. And just played decent overall. I just felt at times that he took some bad shots. That's what he does. But we lost by a possession tonight. You know what I mean? So one of those possessions where he tried to force things. How many turnovers did he? I think he had 3 turnovers tonight. You know what I'm saying? He had 3 turnovers tonight. You know what I'm saying? So, just one of those possessions could have been the difference between a win and a loss. You know what I mean? But I don't want to come for him too hard because he was one of the big reasons why we were in the game in the first place. You know what I mean? So you got to take the good with the bad with the good. But overall, I thought he had a good game. I thought Porzingis played decent tonight. I felt he missed a lot of bunnies, man. And still shoots too many threes for my liking. But I did think that he was a little more aggressive tonight, going to the paint, trying to score in the post, trying to dribble off, like pump fake at the 3, and to dribble his way to an easy layup and stuff like that. Drew a couple of fouls. You know what I mean? So I thought he was effective, and his length was effective at times tonight. You know what I'm saying? but he did struggle defensively against Adebayo, and I'm going to get to that when I speak about the things I didn't like about tonight's game. But I thought he did okay. You know what I mean? But his shot overall is kind of off. It's not as crisp as it was. And 18 points tonight, but he shot 7 for 18. Another bad shooting night. Almost a negative, almost 33%, a little higher than 33% from the line tonight. From the field tonight. But 7 for 18 for a 7'3" player was not good enough. It's not good enough. He's been in a slump, in my opinion, the last few games. But I thought that he had some good moments tonight. He just has to be more consistent, man. I just think, I think all players, there's going to be times throughout the season where they are going to have a slump. And I think this is that time for Porzingis. But once he gets back and hitting those bunnies that he should be hitting that mid-range shot that the D was giving him at times tonight that he should just hit. You know what I mean? I'm just hoping that he just gets back into his groove and becomes an integral part of the offense. He has to be a 20-point scorer. He scored 18 points. But more than that, he has to be more efficient from the field. 30-something% from the field isn't good enough. It's not good enough. Even a low 40s isn't good enough. You know what I'm saying? We need him closer to 50% from the floor. You know what I'm saying? And he has to shoot more in the post. You know what I mean? Too many threes. Settles for too many threes. What was he? 1 for 4 from the three-point line tonight. You know what I mean? So I didn't like that. And back to Kuzma. He was 11 for 22 from the field tonight. So he was 50% from the field. But he was 3 for 10 from the three-point line. So to me, that's a little bit too many threes he was shooting tonight. Too many threes. Go to the basket. Go to the basket. Go to the basket. Damn, yo. We lost by 3 points tonight. And they combined between Porzingis and Kuzma, they were 4 for 14 from the three-point line tonight. You know what I mean? So I know I'm talking about the things that I supposed to be talking about the things I like tonight, but I'm so frustrated with this team. They lose games that they gotta win. They cannot keep a lead, man. But anyway. We had a 12-2 run in the first quarter. We went up double digits, you know what I mean? So, again, we had a double-digit lead, but the Wizards, the thing we know as Wizards fans is that they can never keep a double-digit lead. They always let the other team get back in the game, like always. I get so tired of that. You know what I mean? It's like, come on, what do y'all got to do to keep a lead? Yeah, it's like they're allergic to keeping a lead and winning a game big. They're just allergic to that, man. They got to get a tougher mentality. And coach has to do a better job of keeping that momentum up. You know what I mean? But we cannot give up these big leads that we usually give up every time. Every single time. Like, literally every single time. We go up double digits. Somehow, some way, the other team always comes back and makes the game closer than it needs to be. Or they come away with the win like they did tonight, man. So, I'm happy that we were able to get a double-digit lead, go on a big run. But for us not to sustain it is a problem, man. It's a problem. That's the difference between great teams and good teams and average teams. And I don't know what this team wants to be. Do they want to be a good team or do they just want to be average? Because if they want to be average, they're doing a great job of doing that. But if they want to be great, they want to be even a good team, they got to do a better job of keeping leads, holding on to leads, and winning games that they're supposed to win. Damn, man. I felt Denny was active early. In the first quarter, he had 5 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, and a block. That's a very good stat line for a quarter. But unfortunately, he couldn't sustain. He did a lot. He had a few boneheaded plays, too many unnecessary fouls. And he complains to the refs too much, man. That's one thing. I like Denny. I do. I like what he brings to the table, what he brings to the team. But he complains a little bit too much, man. You know what I'm saying? He ended the game with 8, 9, and 5 with 2 blocks. Very steady. He's a glue player. You know what I mean? He's not the star, but I just feel that, let me look at his 2 for 8 shooting, 0 for 4 from the three-point line. Again, too many threes being shot. 11 for 39 for the three. Wait, we're talking about what I like. 8, 9, and 5. So, steady, but again, man, too many threes, too much settling. but he had a decent game tonight. I thought Bradley Beal played well overall tonight. You know what I mean? He played well overall. He had only one turnover. Had 28 points, 5 assists, 5 rebounds, and 3 blocks. You know what I mean? So him playing good defense, more effective on the defensive end. I think he's saving his energy better throughout the game. Because there's stretches where he's not, he's not a factor, it seems. You know what I'm saying? But he's a factor defensively. He's getting his teammates open, getting them good shots and stuff like that. But when he needs to take over, he takes over. And I felt that he did that tonight. He had 14 points in the third quarter. So he had a very big third quarter. And I just thought that overall he had a decent game. He forced a little bit today. A little bit, but compared to his past where he was trying to force the action, he tries to play within the offense. So you got to admire that. You know what I mean? You got to like that, trying to play within the offense and then taking over when he needs to take over. And I did feel that he did that tonight, but unfortunately he couldn't do it in the fourth quarter when we needed him to do it the most. You know what I mean? I thought Goodwin was good off the bench for most of the game tonight. He had a few fouls tonight that I wish he didn't have. A couple turnovers. You know what I'm saying? He ended the game with 7 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists. Nice solid game off the bench. And his energy, his effort, that's what we need him for. You know what I mean? So I definitely like that. And I thought he played great defense, got his hands on a lot of balls. Forced Tyler Hero to have not a good shooting game tonight. So, he did what Jordan Goodwin does. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely like what I saw from him at times tonight. In the first quarter, we had 5 blocks, 10 assists off of 16 shots, 67% shooting from the field, all in the first quarter. You know what I mean? Now, for the rest of the game, the Heat did step their defense up and had us clamped, but we also settled for shots and didn't run the offense as efficiently as we did in the first quarter, and that also hurt us. You know what I'm saying? So, although the Heat did step up their defense, I felt that the Wizards really started to settle and just started to not play the way that they were playing early in the game. And that's just another problem, the consistency that this team needs to have in order for us to win. They have to do better from a consistency standpoint. You know what I mean? So I definitely didn't like the fact that we didn't run the defense well tonight. I mean, we had a good first quarter, but we couldn't sustain. So I definitely didn't like that part. But I did like how we played in the first quarter and wish that we could have played like that for the rest of the game. But unfortunately, this team is just inconsistent, and they just couldn't get it done. We ended the first quarter with a double-digit lead, 38-28. But again, the Wizards can never keep a double-digit lead. It's like kryptonite to them. Something they really need to work on. I felt Gafford after, having his minutes taken away in the last few games in favor of Taj Gibson. I felt Gafford was much more effective tonight than he has been in the last few games. I did think that Gill took some of his minutes as well, but I thought Gafford played a Gafford game. You know what I'm saying? He ended the game with, he only had 8 minutes. I thought he played more than that. But he was perfect from the field. A +8 on the floor in his 8 minutes. Only 6 points, you know what I'm saying? But, hold on. Yeah. Only 6 points. But, like I said, 6 points, 3 rebounds, and a block. But he was effective in the post tonight. And he was a +8 in his 8 minutes on the floor. So maybe he should have had a few more minutes tonight. Who's to say? You know what I'm saying? But I thought that his minutes in the game, he was much more effective than he has been in the last few games. And I thought our three-point defense, especially in the first half, was so much better than it was last game. Matter of fact, we held them, although we shot 28% 0.2% from the three-point line tonight. We held the Heat to 26.9%, 7 for 26. So our three-point defense was much more effective tonight than it was in the prior game. And that, just seeing that just makes me more upset that we lost the game tonight. You know what I'm saying? So that's everything that I liked about tonight's game. You know what I'm saying? Enough for us to win, in my opinion. But in the fourth quarter, the second half, I just felt that we just got sloppy and we just didn't stay focused. You know what I mean? So that leads into the things that I disliked tonight. And for one, I felt we got dominated in the paint tonight, man. We let the Heat destroy us in the paint. Out of their first 20 points tonight, 16 of them were in the paint. You know what I'm saying? And Bam Adebayo, man, had a career night, one of his best games of his career against us tonight. He was the reason why we lost the game tonight. And it exposed, I won't even say exposed, because this is a problem I knew we were going to have throughout the season. And it's just the fact that we don't have a dominant post defender. We have a defender that is effective in the post, in Porzingis. Just with his height, makes it hard for, guards to penetrate and shoot in the post, make layups and stuff like that. So we do have that. But when we're going to play against a quality center that has strength, that has post moves, that can score in the post, we're going to have issues with that all season long. And Bam Adebayo is one of those centers that we're just going to have problems with. And we're just going to have to figure out a way to beat a team in spite of a quality center like Bam Adebayo, because he was giving it to Porzingis tonight. And Porzingis played with effort. He tried, but ultimately he just doesn't have the girth, the strength to body up with a player like Bam Adebayo. And then there was times throughout in the game where we put Anthony Gill on Bam, and if you're watching it on TV, you could just see the size disparity between Adebayo and Anthony Gill. You know what I mean? So again, just to see that Gafford was a +8 on the floor, and he only played 8 minutes. Maybe, I don't think Gafford could even handle Adebayo, but I think he may have had a better chance of playing defense against Adebayo tonight than definitely against Anthony Gill, and even possibly against better than Porzingis. You know what I mean? Who's to say? I can't call it. You know what I'm saying? All I know is Adebayo went crazy tonight. 10 points, 4 rebounds in the first 5 minutes of the game. So that was an omen to show where this game was going to head. He ended the first half with 22 points, and he ended the game with 38 points, 12 rebounds, 3 assists. Damn, a monster game, and no turnovers. No turnovers. You know what I mean? That's just a monster game, man. 38 and 12. That's why we lost the game. You know what I'm saying? I could talk about other things, which I will, but that's why we lost the game. You know what I'm saying? We had bad turnovers throughout the game tonight. I don't think, let me see. We ended the game with 12 turnovers to the Heat's 10. So it wasn't the fact that we turned the ball over super crazy. I mean, 12 turnovers is a good amount, and you would want us to cut down. But it was when we turned the ball over. Early in the first quarter, early in the second quarter, I can recall vividly just bad turnovers, and we lost the game by 3 points. We lost the game by 3 points, and we turned the ball over, had some bad turnovers, and then we had some bad turnovers towards the end of the game as well. Just not playing with focus, just not being smart. You know what I mean? So I'm definitely not happy about that. I felt that Kyle Lowry, he's just too much. Like, all 3 games, he's been a factor. He's been a problem for us tonight, was no exception. He ended the game with 13 points, 7 rebounds, 8 assists, almost a triple-double, only 1 turnover. You know what I mean? So, just a savvy veteran player that we seem to just have a problem with. And, again, I like Monte Morris didn't play, decent point guard. I like Jordan Goodwin, but I think we need a better point. I think we need an upgrade at point guard still. You know what I'm saying? I like them. They're good players. But we need an upgrade at point guard. Maybe we're not going to get an upgrade. I doubt that we will. We got to work with what we have. But when we're playing savvy vets like Kyle Lowry, it shines the difference between our level of point guard play versus the level of the Heat point guard play. You know what I mean? When you have an elite, Kyle, he's a top tier point guard, elite. Maybe not at this stage of his career, but he's still a great point guard, and he still runs the team the way a coach would like a point guard to run his team. You know what I mean? So he still was a problem, and he was a problem again tonight. Too many assists. Tyler Hero was a big problem for us too. I mean, we forced 5 turnovers, but he had 10 assists tonight, just 11 points, but hit timely threes. We held him to 2 for 10 from the three-point line, but he hit a couple of timely threes that they really needed. He was only 4 for 18 from the floor, but those 10 assists were real big. You know what I mean? So definitely didn't like that. I felt that as good as we played in the first quarter, we started the second quarter terribly, let the Heat get back in the game, let them take the lead, and made the game closer than it needed to be, and we eventually lost the game. You know what I mean? So again, we don't handle prosperity well. We don't handle winning well or taking a big lead. We don't handle that well, and we got to do better. Like, I'm just so heated about that. This is a game we should have won, period. We should have won tonight, and we didn't because we don't know how to handle prosperity. You know what I'm saying? We got to do better, man. So I'm very upset that we started the second quarter terribly after playing such a good first quarter. Very upset about that. Second game in a row, Caleb Martin played well. Hit big shot after big shot after big shot against us tonight. You know what I'm saying? 20 points, a plus 13 on the floor tonight. You know what I mean? Just big shots. 7 for 11 from the floor. 2 for 4 from the three-point line. Getting to the basket. Hitting threes, hitting mid-range, hitting free throws. Getting assists, getting a few rebounds. I mean, he did a little bit of everything. You know what I mean? And you don't want a role player like Martin or any role player for any team for that matter to have a game like that, especially when we lose by only 3 points. You know what I mean? Like, if Adebayo is going to have the big game that he had, which he did, 38 and 12, but he was only a +1 on the floor tonight. Like, even if we're going to let him go crazy, we can't let other players go crazy like Martin. Like, we just can't let that happen. You know what I'm saying? So, very disappointed in that. And then Dedmon came in the second quarter, helped to contribute to our terrible second quarter. You know what I'm saying? Had good quality minutes for the Heat as well. So I'm very upset about that. Will Barton comes in. I like Will Barton at times, but the thing that a lot of us get upset about with him is he takes a lot of forced shots, a lot of bad shots. He was only 1 for 8 from the floor tonight, but he was a +4 from on the floor as well. Only had 5 points, but 1 for 8 shooting. 2 or 3 of those shots need to be a pass or an assist or something. You know what I mean? So Barton got to do a better job of just stop jacking up shots, messing up the momentum, because I think him taking bad shots also helped the Heat get back into the game. You know what I mean? So again, just a lot of bad shots, a lot of settling. And we got to do better with that, man. The Heat took the 13-2 run. The second quarter is when things really started to fall apart. You know what I mean? Really started to go in the Heat's favor and really gave them confidence that they could really win this game. You know what I'm saying? But the Heat went on the 13-2 run in that second quarter, and they eventually took the lead. We took the lead right back. But for us to be up double digits and then give up a 13-2 run, let them take the lead, you know what I mean? That's part of the reason why we lost the game tonight. You know what I'm saying? And then another thing that I noticed throughout the game, and I think part of it was the fact that they ran that 2-3 zone, but there was too much hesitancy in regards to taking wide open shots, whether it was Kispert or whether it was Denny in particular. You know what I mean? They had some open shots and they passed up the shots. Maybe Kispert knew what he was doing, because that three-point attempt he took towards the end of the game where he hit the backboard, it was just terrible. You know what I'm saying? He was very off tonight. Very terrible tonight. You know what I mean? He was, what was he? 1 for 7 from the 3-point line, 2 for 9 from the field. He didn't really give us anything tonight. And, you know what I mean? We need him to be more consistent as well. Just overall, very disappointing game. Very disappointing loss. I'm very upset that this team has such a hard time keeping a lead. You know what I mean? And sustaining a lead and closing a team out and doing dumb things when they need to be smart in the fourth quarter. You know what I mean? Very upset. Very upset, man. Unhappy. And I'm just hoping that they can get it together and start to play better, especially against teams that are shorthanded and they give us opportunities to win. This is a game that we should have won and we didn't. Very upset, man. So anyway, man, that's all I got for y'all tonight, man. I'm very dejected. You know what I mean? I'm very upset. I'm so upset, real talk. But anyway, man, if you enjoyed the content, man, I would really appreciate you guys subscribing to the channel at the Wizards Review on YouTube. You can follow us on Twitter as well, at Wizards Review. You can follow me, King Ade DMV, on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and on the Xbox Series X and S, NBA 2K23. You know what I mean? So anyway, man, I'm about to sign off. Just try to get over this loss. This was a tough one, man. This was really a tough loss. You can't lose to a team you just played 2 nights ago and lose to them again. You just can't do that. You know what I mean? Very disappointing loss, man. So anyway, man, I know it's tough, man, but we gotta fight through it, and let's just hope that this team can learn from their mistakes and get better. And towards the end of the season, which really matters, they can start winning these type of games. You know what I'm saying? They got to get better, though, man. They have to get more focused and just have that feeling that they're a good team and they deserve to win. You know what I mean? They revert back to their bad habits, their losing habits, and they got to get better, man. So anyway, man, have a good night. Until next time, take care. Peace.